on Denver 7 News at 4, making Colorado safer.
So this, there isn't one crime in particular that's worrying to us. It's really all of them.
The governor lays out the plan to reduce crime rates in the state.
Public school students are getting more diverse, but the teachers don't match that. How one area's ambitious hiring plan for men of color could be replicated in classrooms all over. And as electric cars get more attention, there's a big question of what to do with their potentially toxic batteries. How an effort to keep them out of landfills could make cars cheaper.
Plus, dropping masks in schools. How health officials are making sure students and teachers stay safe.
Thank you for joining us at 4. I'm Jessica Porter. Well, I know it feels warm out there today, but hey, we're in Colorado and we're getting you prepared with a weather action day. We start with meteorologist Stacy Donaldson. Stacy, we should expect some snow tomorrow?
We should. It's going to be arriving into the afternoon and evening, definitely affecting your evening commute tomorrow. But as for today, 50s and 60s all across the Front Range and the Eastern Plains. Out of DIA, we just hit 61 degrees at this point. Our average afternoon high should only be in the mid 40s this time of year. And we have those 50s and 60s stretching all across the Front Range, cooling into the 40s toward Golden and Evergreen, and only 18 at Berthoud Pass right now. But tonight in Denver, we'll have temperatures dropping into the 40s around 7 p.m. and we'll stay there for the rest of the night. But here comes that cold front. It's pushing to the south and it will arrive tomorrow. So we are expecting lows tonight in the 30s here for the Front Range early tomorrow morning. And then we don't get much warmer than that as we have the snow move in for the afternoon and evening. We'll talk more about snow totals here for the Front Range coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Stacy. Governor Jared Polis and Democratic leaders from the House and Senate hosted a press conference at the state capitol today to talk about their plans to reduce crime in our state. The governor unveiled a package of 5 bills that he says will focus on preventing and getting to the root causes of crime. Now, some of those ideas in the bill include more grant funding for co-responder models, more funding for recruitment and retainment of law enforcement officers, money for mental health services, and more. In all, the bills proposed would account for about $113 million in funding over 2 years.
We are certainly open to the discussion of additional investments, but this is a strong start in helping to make Colorado a safer state.
Several district attorneys and sheriffs attended today's press conference. However, major police unions like the Colorado Fraternal Order of Police didn't go. Instead, they sent a letter saying that they need lawmakers to advance policy changes alongside ongoing budgetary proposals. Boulder County awarded the contract for fire cleanup to a debris removal company today. DRC won the bid and will soon begin removing what's left of the 1,000 homes that were lost in the fire starting on March 1st. Boulder County will pay DRC, but then the county is eligible for reimbursement from FEMA for up to 75%. Many of those who lost their homes say it's time to move on, but they feel they've been somewhat in the dark about how to move forward.
People are very confused about what's going on and what's next and who's doing what and who's reimbursing who, and it's just a really overwhelming process.
It's been exactly 6 weeks to the day since the fire tore through parts of Superior and Louisville, becoming the most destructive wildfire in Colorado history. The cause of the Marshall Fire is still under investigation, but there are plenty of fires that have gone unresolved. Now there's a new bill that's been introduced to change that. According to our partners at Colorado Public Radio, Colorado ranks last in solving large human-started wildfires. And more than half of those, investigators were unable to pinpoint what or who sparked the fire. Senate Bill 2280 would create a wildfire investigation team at the state level to aid local fire departments at a cost of $3 million annually. The bill also requires the State Division of Fire Prevention and Control to ensure the origin and cause data for fires is accurate and used to prevent future fires. State Senator Carrie Donovan and State Representative Dylan Roberts are sponsoring that bill. Well, Denver Public Schools is dropping its mask requirement. The rule will end at midnight on February 25th. Mayor Hancock calls the move a viable step with COVID cases in Denver falling and the city's vaccination rate above 80% for people 5 and older. So we asked CDPHE Incident Commander Scott Bookman how health officials are going to address masks at schools as schools start to drop their mandates.
Local control is a critical component of where we are. But we also are looking at our school's guidance and preparing to issue updated guidance for schools as we look at a period of time where masks will no longer be a tool to break transmission in the schools.
The White House and CDC are still urging students, teachers, and parents to mask up regardless of vaccination status.
Well, probably no surprise, but inflation continues to go up. January beat December's historic increase. We are now up 7.5% from a year ago. Food, housing, and electricity made the biggest gains. Food at grocery stores went up a full % from December to January. Now, scam calls around student loan relief are increasing. Even more could be coming with federal student loan payments on hold for about 3 more months. RoboKiller says student loan scams are one of their top scam calls for 2021. Americans received an estimated 2.8 billion of those calls. Here's one that RoboKiller shared with us.
Thank you for your submission regarding the Student Forgiveness Plan. You have been approved for a $0 per month payment. Press 1 to get rid of your student loan. If you would like to be removed from this offer, press 9.
You might have received one of those yourself. Julia Porter with RoboKiller tells us that the student loan scams are happening a lot more often as robocalls. They're starting to see more text scams focusing on this now as well.
Scammers definitely take advantage of, what's current, what people are talking about, and tailor their phone scams accordingly so that, you'll fall for them.
You really want to use your gut, and you want to be skeptical of any offers for amazing student loans rates or forgiveness.
You certainly can ask the caller to send you more information via mail or email, where you can actually review what certain terms of the forgiveness that they're offering would be. Some of these offers aren't always scams, but normally we tend to think that they are.
Now, while spam texts haven't quite caught up yet on student loan scams, expect to get a lot more texts these days for other types of scams. RoboKiller estimates in December 2021, Americans received more than 7 billion spam texts. That's about 2 billion more texts than robocalls. Now, even if you have been making payments on your federal student loans during the pause, you won't see it reflected on your tax return this year. Student loan interest has been at 0% since spring of 2020, but 2021 was the first full year it was at that rate. Experts with Student Loan Heroes say what you get back on your taxes is typically from the interest you paid.
There's kind of a double-edged sword. Certainly borrowers are happy and relieved that they haven't had to make those voluntary payments. One of the negative consequences of that is they won't see that usual tax break come tax time.
Now, current college students could still be eligible for certain tax credits. Visit studentaid.gov for more information or get in touch with your loan provider. Now, as more electric cars hit the road, a question is starting to come up of what happens with the car's potentially toxic batteries later on.
We have to develop new ways of recycling all of the materials and reusing these materials over and over again. Otherwise, we're going to continue to destroy our planet.
How an effort to keep the batteries out of landfills could make the cars cheaper in the future.
And low supply, high demand. We take a look at what housing prices in Denver are looking like and the struggles aspiring homeowners are facing.